Alright, I guess I'm live. I am driving, so I'm not going to be looking at the chat all that much. But, so usually while I am driving, I have to pick up my brother. And usually, if I'm going on a drive, I'll, listen to music. For some reason, my Bluetooth connection to my car from my phone wasn't working. I spent like 10 minutes trying to fix it. It was not working. So I guess I'm doing that. And instead, I'm just going to, randomly yap to fill space. And I figured why not do a little live. Make it seem interesting. This is a Red Bull. I'm not sponsored by Red Bull. However, Red Bull, if you want me to chill for your peach flavor and no other flavor, I would gladly do it. Yeah. So I have to pick up my brother. Going to my grandma's house because I'm pretty sure that's where he is right now. Custody stuff. He spent the weekend with our dad. So I'm going to pick him up because I'm the person with a car, so I do that drive. But it's alright. It's like 45 minutes to an hour, depending. It's slightly different time going to my grandma's, but it's okay. I never do lives like this. I wanted to do it on Instagram. Like, for the people who I'm friends with. But apparently Instagram changed it so you can only go live if you're a public account, which I think is incredibly stupid, but whatever. I do have a public Instagram, but I don't really use it. I use it on occasion if I want to make a public video. But mostly, even though I'm on Instagram all the time, I'm on my private one. So here we are. Good old YouTube. At least I can stream on YouTube again. I couldn't do that for the longest time, which was yikes. So I don't know how streaming on mobile works. I'm at a red light. I think any chat messages will just pop up on the bottom of the screen for me. I don't really know. I think I did one of these like mobile recorded live streams forever ago. Not anytime recently. So it's a new experience. But I don't know. Oh, 6 viewers. That's crazy. Hello. I'm at a red light, so I can read chat right now. Fear not. My main focus is on driving. But as I was saying, I don't have any background noise because my Bluetooth isn't working for whatever reason. So I feel like yapping into the void is a better bet than sitting in silence. That would drive me crazy. Hello. Wow, it's 15 viewers. I do stream. Oh, something fell. Somewhat regularly-ish. Not as much this year. Games. But not like this. So, hello. You can ask me questions and things, and then when I'm at a red light, I'll read the chat. Otherwise, I'm just gonna kind of yap endlessly. I've been watching a lot of movies this year, which is why I started the whole monthly film log thing. But not a lot of them have been good. The most recent one I watched was Friday the 13th Part 3. Now, mind you, I've never watched a Friday the 13th movie before, but it was not very good. What you born? I don't know what that means. What year was I born? Is that what you're asking? I was born in 2007. I don't know what you're asking exactly. Yeah, Friday the 13th, Part 3. I don't know. It also didn't strike me that it would have been better had I watched the prior movies. Like, I think it works fine as a standalone. Like, I wasn't too confused outside of the opening sequence. It's just, I don't know. It's one of those horror movies where it's like, there's a lot of lame horror movies, and that was easily one of them. I also watched Scream 1981. No relation to the Wes Craven Scream series. Scream by Wes Craven is great and can do no wrong. Scream 1981, that was a bad movie. If you wanna, you know what? I wouldn't even recommend it to hate watch, because it's not even fun bad. It was just like boring bad. And like also weirdly on a technical level was bad too. Even though it seemed like it had a decent budget. But the audio like mixing was terrible. The acting was really bad. It was a bad movie. I watched it, but yeah, it was a bad movie. I've seen a lot of bad movies this year. This month specifically. I watched Movie Theater Massacre. Hello. That was a bad movie. Yeah. Not good. Really not good. Good Boy 2022. Bad movie. I don't know. And it's not like I'm trying to find movies that are bad. I click on them thinking, hey, at least if this is going to be bad, it's going to be bad in a fun way. And then it just keeps being bad in, like, boring ways. I need a fun bad movie. I need, like, some Llamageddon type shit. What y'all know about Llamageddon? That was a good bad movie. Because it's funny. Like, you can't get mad at Llamageddon for being a bad movie because you decided to watch a movie called Llamageddon. Yeah. Although, even sometimes if I do try to find funny bad movies, it doesn't go well. Like, I watched Attack of the Killer Donuts. Because it's called Attack of the Killer Donuts. That sounds like it would be hilarious, but it was just boring. And yeah, except for the ending. The ending of that movie was very funny. But most of the movie was just a waste of my time. The only interesting thing was that the main actress lady was also in the CW The Flash show, which I guess is interesting. But she was also in the later seasons when the show got bad. So, man, I need to watch something good. I watched the original Scream trilogy. The first movie was good. Scream 2 was okay. Scream 3 was pretty bad. Yeah, I don't know. I've been trying to find Scream 4 on, like, DVD, but I haven't had any luck. I mean, I'm sure I could find it on, like, Amazon, but I'm not in a rush to do that. I'm supposed to be seeing that new movie, Goat, this month, I think. Or soon, with my dad. Made by Sony Animations. They did the Spider-Verse movies. They did K-pop Demon Hunters. And it's the main guy is voiced by, I always forget his name, Caleb something. The guy who played Lucas in Stranger Things. I'm not a big fan of sports movies outside of the best sports movie, Goon. That name didn't age well. It's a hockey movie. That is a funny movie that I like. But in general, I'm not a big fan of sports movies. But Sony Animations does good work, and the movie looks good. So I'm going to see it. And maybe that'll be good. Hi. Maybe that'll be good at least. Who knows? Yeah, if people have any questions, you can let me know and I'll answer them when I get to stopping points. I'm going to be in this car for another half hour, it looks like, so I'm going to be here for a while. And when I get to, like, a stopping point where I can safely read the comments, I'll do that. I went to a used bookstore the other day, and they had a lot of stuff. Like, obviously they had books. Although I will say, the books were organized in a really confusing way. So I had a hard time navigating the book section, so I didn't end up getting any books, but I did get a bunch of DVDs. And they were like $1 a piece. I even got one that's a collection of 20 movies. 20 bad-looking horror movies for $1. I love that. I also got Robots on DVD, Milo and Otis, which I think I do have on DVD, but I had lost my DVD copy, so why not? It was $1. Okay, what is happening? There's something on my screen. I'll figure out what it is when I get to a stopping point. Back out of this. Damn it. But yeah, I don't know. I can't wait to watch all 20 terrible horror movies. It's funny too, because some of the movies on the DVD set are sequels. Like, there's one that looks like a full series is across these DVDs, but then there's also just sequels. Like a Halloween sequel is on there, and there's one that's like Dracula 3, and it's like, what? Why would you put a random sequel on this DVD set? Like, I don't get why you would do that. Like, put the original one, or don't put it at all. Find a different shitty horror movie to put on. Like, why put a sequel? That just seems weird to me. They all have generic names, and I love dumb generic names. Like, few things bring me more joy than bad generic names. But, you know, whatever. Eggtown. What the hell is Eggtown? I'm passing I just passed a diner called Eggtown. That is a fun name. Love that. The hell? I've been busy recently because I'm in a show right now. I'm doing the SpongeBob musical. I'm playing Plankton. So that's been fun. Although the next 3 days are not going to be fun because I have 3 rehearsals back to back, which is a lot. But, you know, we're getting close to the show. So, like, it makes sense, but it's also a lot. Alright. Is my profile picture cool? I can't see it, really. I have no idea what your profile picture is. I'm gonna be honest. I can't, like, pull it up on full because of the stream output. It looks red. I don't want to say it is cool in case it's, like, somebody trying to goat me into saying something offensive. I just see red and, like, a little icon of something in the middle. Maybe it's cool. I can't tell. Oh my god. I love red lights. It's fun. That's later. Tyler's problem. I just realized I left something in my car that I probably shouldn't have. Thirst alert. Thornton's. I always am seeing drive-thrus I've, like, never heard of before. And they're always, like, the big fancy, not drive-thrus. I'm half asleep right now, not gonna lie. They're always, like, the big fancy gas stations. Like, what's a Thornton's? I've never heard of that in my life, but it looks popular. I wonder how many gas stations I can name off the top of my head. 7-Eleven, Wawa, BP, Shell, Mobil, Sunoco, so it's 6. Circle K. I had several others in my head and they all just left. Oh, Racetrack Speedway. Thornton's, I guess, because we just passed that. So that's 10. 10 isn't bad. Texaco, is that one? So that's 11. Yeah, maybe 11. I can name off the top of my head. I don't know. I usually try to go to like the 7-Eleven near my house because I have a 7-Eleven like right next to my neighborhood, but can't always do that. But they usually have like relatively low gas prices. I mean, nowhere these days has low gas prices. But comparative to some of the other like gas stations in my area, it's cheaper, and it's like right next to my house. So obviously that's the one I go to the most. Yeah, I don't know. It's my car beeping at me. My God. Sometimes I'll move slightly forward, and it'll be like, you're about to hit somebody, and it's like, I promise I'm not. Yeah, Circle K. There's a Circle K right there. Yeah, I don't know. Does Costco count? That might be 12. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like places that like Costco, I think sells gas. Kroger, I think sells gas, but those are like grocery chains, so I don't really count them as like a gas station. But more just feels like a grocery store that you can also get gas at. You know? Is Costco? I have only been into Costco like a small handful of times. It disconnected for a second. I was just saying my grandma has a Costco membership, but I don't go with her like all the time. Maybe next time I'm like chilling with her, I'll be like, hey grandma, do you want to go to Costco for no reason? Just for fun? That sounds like a terrible time. Hey, you want to go to Costco to hang out? Like, there are so many other places I would rather hang out before I go to Costco. You know? I like Barnes & Noble. That's a good place to go with a friend. Me and my friend Lisette go to Barnes & Noble sometimes. We've gone a couple times now. I think I did a vlog, not like in the store with her, but talking about it. Yeah. Oh my God. So, I'm doing SpongeBob the Musical right now. I'm playing Plankton, and he raps. My white ass rapping, so that's gonna be interesting. I think I'm doing okay. People are telling me I'm doing okay. It's also like, it's a kid's production. Technically, it's supposed to be 10 to 18. There are a couple people who are under 10, I think, on the cast, and then I'm 19 now, although I was 18 when I auditioned. So it's like, it's a wide range. Yeah, I am the oldest person on the entire cast or crew, because the crew is also all youth. So I'm older than the director by like 3 years, which I find funny. My director's really cool. Love her. She's great. She's very like accommodating and nice and good at her job, methinks. I don't know. High school theater. I liked doing theater in high school. I had a lot of, good roles and stuff I did through that. It introduced me to a lot of people who I don't get along with anymore, but also it introduced me to like my friends Lisette and Dominic, who I'm still close with and talk to pretty much every day. Wouldn't trade it for the world. I'm very glad I did theater throughout high school. However, it could be a lot sometimes, and the directors there were not always the best about, being understanding if somebody was struggling with something or was sick or something. So it could be very stressful in that regard. But this has been very low stress because the director for this show cares a lot about the health and safety of the cast members. Q&A sticker. An underrated game everyone should play. Just on the screen. There we go. Okay. I'm not going to try to fix that right now. Once I get to a stop, I'll try to get that out of my face. But yeah, an underrated indie game everyone should play. I'm gonna get rid of that because that was annoying. Kiosk. Everyone should play Kiosk. I don't know if it's necessarily underrated. Like, I feel like a lot of people heard of Kiosk. I feel like not as many people played the full game. Kiosk, perhaps. A lot of people played the demo that was on itch.io, but the Vivi, the person who made it, did a full version of the game on Steam, which you can buy for like a few dollars. I got it launch day because I really liked the demo. And yeah, it's a good game, and I think everyone should play Kiosk. If you like horror games, that is. If you can't do horror games, don't play Kiosk. It's not like the scariest thing ever, but it got some spooks out of me, and it has a very eerie, like, environment. That creator is actually coming out with a new horror game, I think called On Rails? Cold Rails, maybe? Has something to do with rails. It takes place on a train. A demo's coming out for it soon. I'm iffy on if I'm going to play the demo or not. I might play the demo, or I might just play the full game when it comes out. Either way, I'm really excited, because Vivi did make another game. They made a game called Gnomedom. It was a puzzle game. I did buy Gnomedom, and I tried playing it, but I was mainly confused. And it was also, like, incredibly different from Kiosk, which isn't a bad thing to have, you know, variety. But I didn't like it, like, nearly as much. And I'm not a huge puzzle games guy. I mainly just bought it because I liked Kiosk, but it was nothing like Kiosk. This new game looks a lot like Kiosk, both graphically and gameplay-wise, and it's another horror game. So I feel like that's going to be up my alley, and I'm definitely going to play that. I might play the demo, but I'll definitely play it in some regard, because Vivi is great. I also, on Twitter, for Kiosk, posted, I think I used one of them for, like, my thumbnails, but would post a bunch of, like, funny images of the clown character in different poses, which don't appear in the game, obviously, but I found funny, so I've used a couple of those. But yeah, no, Kiosk is a great game. So an indie game I think everyone should play, Kiosk. Castle Crashers, also a fun game that I think people should play. It's also an indie game. Yeah, Castle Crashers is really fun. What else? I'm trying to think of indie games. Oh, another really good horror one. I play a lot of horror. Egg Fried Rice. It's on itch.io. I played it. That shit was scary. That's a game you should replay a couple times. Depending on what ending you get. Because initially I got basically an ending where nothing happens. So then in my Let's Play I replayed it. And you actually... stuff happens differently if you replay the game. Which I'm sure it's probably not the first game to do that or anything. But that was the first time I've, like, replayed a game and noticed things were different. Like, there's a jump scare you only get if you replay the game. I just found that cool and interesting. But yeah. So, Egg Fried Rice, Kiosk. I played this really terrible game called Schizophrenia, but it was very funny. It was also funny to me as somebody who is actually schizophrenic. It was a really bad game, but it was bad in a funny way. That's what I'm saying. I like media that's bad in a way that's funny. You know? Like, if something's bad and boring, I don't want to fucking touch it. But if it's bad and funny, then that's great. Florida drivers are always bad, but some of the shit I just saw happen in front of me was wild. Just saying. I guess I should talk about my cats. People like it when I talk about my cats. Toothless has been doing well. Hephaestus is doing okay. I think I mentioned in my Friday the 13th vlog that Hephaestus has got something wrong with his eye. It does seem to be clearing up. And either way, he's not like, he doesn't seem to be in pain or anything over it. Obviously, if it gets worse, we'll like take him to the vet. Whatever. We're gonna try a new medication for it as well. Toothless is great. He's crazy. That cat is wild, but you know, I'm glad he is though, because when I first got him, you know, I got him from like a hoarder house that was not treating him well. So he was like super skittish the first couple weeks, but now he's like super clingy and he loves me. It's kind of sad because I'm like, he probably loves me this much because he was getting, you know, neglected at his old home. That's not to say that Hephaestus doesn't like me or anything. Hephaestus likes me, but he's not like so clingy because he, to my knowledge, didn't have a tragic backstory. You know, because Hephaestus was my shelter kitty. He wasn't a kitty. I call all cats kitties. Both of my cats are adults. Hephaestus was actually the second oldest at the adoption center, or at the shelter when I adopted him. He doesn't seem to have had a tragic backstory. I think he might have been like a stray, mayhaps. But he's very friendly. He doesn't have a tragic backstory. Toothless was being neglected and was in an animal hoarder house. So, you know, it's a little sad whenever I think about it too much, but I love him. Wouldn't trade him for the world, even though he can be a lot. You could have had me. Okay. Nickelodeon. Okay. I'm excited for SpongeBob. I don't think it's definitely not going to be like the best show I've been in or anything on a technical level as a whole. I think the best shows I've been in were when I was in Chicago, and definitely Chicago. I think that's easily the best one I was in. Cabaret was also like good. I'm thinking not from my experience, because I did not have the best experience doing Cabaret, to be honest. I'm thinking from like audience perspective as a whole, them coming together. Chicago was amazing. Cabaret was great. Play That Goes Wrong was great. People really liked that. SpongeBob probably not gonna hit top 5 in terms of overall quality, which is expected. It's a junior show, but it is fun. And it's definitely a lot more fun than a lot of the shows I did in high school. So I'm very excited for it. Also, I've always wanted to play a villain, and I haven't really gotten the chance to do that. This is going to be my 20th show. SpongeBob is going to be my 20th show that I've done. And out of all those shows, including SpongeBob, I think I've played a villain in 3. Which isn't, like, terrible, but as somebody who wants to play a villain, you know. And also, one of them barely counts, because one of the ones I'm thinking of is Cabaret. And I'm saying that's a villain role because I was a Nazi. But I was, like, ensemble, so I didn't have lines or anything. I acted it, but nobody in the audience probably noticed. And then when I was younger, I did this Sleepy Hollow show, which it's like impossible to find information about this specific Sleepy Hollow adaptation I did. I found the website you can buy rights for it, which has like a couple pictures attached, and I ripped the DVD copy of the production I was in and put it on YouTube, which ironically is probably the most complete evidence of that show existing that you can find. But I was the Headless Horseman when I did that. But you know, one was as a kid and the other was like an ensemble part. Which is fine, but I want to play a villain with more presence. So, you know, Plankton isn't exactly intimidating, but he is an antagonist. He is an evil guy. So it's definitely more fun than a lot of the other roles I've played. Because I love doing a character voice. And I love playing a character, you know? Because a lot of the characters I'd play were very similar to myself. I loved playing Amos in Chicago. That was easily my favorite role I've played. And it's not like I would just act like myself, but him and a lot of the other characters I played would be very similar to myself. Or if they were like playing up a character, it wasn't always the most fun thing. Like a couple times I played Old Men. Obviously, I'm playing up a character, but I didn't have a joy of a time doing that. So I'm excited. I'm having fun playing Plankton. I think the show is going to turn out well. And yeah. Or it's going to turn out okay. I don't know. I'm excited for it. And my part's going well. Actually, last rehearsal, which was yesterday, two good techies came out to me and were like, "We like your Plankton more than the guy on the pro shot," which is like the highest compliment you can give to somebody who is an actor. In fact, I've only heard that one other time, and it was Chicago. Somebody told me that they liked my Amos more than John C. Reilly's in the movie, which, listen, he's my favorite Amos. Like, I've watched a lot of productions of Chicago, and even if I don't watch the whole thing, I've watched Amos's part a lot, because I love Amos. Him, and there's this one guy, I don't know his name, he was in some teen production of Chicago, and he was a really good Amos. But most of the time, like, out of all of the Amoses I've seen, my favorite is John C. Reilly. So somebody telling me that they liked my Amos more than his was a very high compliment. Because that's like, oh, at least to this one person, I'm outperforming the GOAT. That's crazy sauce. I don't think I did better than fucking John C. Reilly, but it's still a high compliment. And they said that, they were like, oh, you like your Plankton? Well, because also everyone's been watching a bunch of fucking productions. They were like, you're my favorite Plankton I've seen. And I'm like, thank you. I'm trying my hardest. And it's also like, it's fun because it's a perfect range where I have, you know, I have lines, I have like a song, I have presence, but it's not so many lines and parts that it's overwhelming. Like I did, fucking Romeo and Juliet, and I was Friar Lawrence. I hated that show, but also I had like a billion lines, which did not help. I like a show where I have a moderate amount of lines. Like, a amount of lines that isn't too hard to learn, because I have trouble learning lines. Another fucking Thornton's. I've never heard of this gas station before, and now I'm having fucking frequency bias where I'm seeing it everywhere. What was I saying? Forgot what I was saying. Oh, it's like a perfect amount of lines where, because I have a hard time learning lines. I love acting. I would consider myself an actor because I act in a lot of things. I have a hard time learning lines. So with shows like fucking Romeo and Juliet, or like, what else have too many lines? You Can't Take It With You. I have like a billion lines and it's stressful. I always count the amount of lines. I think Plankton's count was around 35, something like that, not including his song, obviously. It was about the same amount I had when I was Prince Herbert in Spamalot. Prince Herbert has around that many lines. Except Prince Herbert, because of some behind the scenes bullshit, I only had 9 days to learn that part, so that was still stressful. But obviously, it's not the case with this. So I was off book on time. If not everybody in the cast was, which is fine. But I was off book by the time they were saying, "Hey, be off book," and I'm having fun with it. Anybody who does acting will tell you it's way more fun once you've learned your lines. The hard part is when you have too many lines that you can't really do that easily. But with this, I'm having a grand old time because now I can just play up the character and I don't have to focus too hard on lines. I still will have my script like backstage, mainly just to polish up, make sure I'm going to be saying the lines I'm supposed to be, and also to follow along on the show. Because I know my lines, and this is a problem I always have. I don't know if this is a common thing for people to deal with, but I have a hard time keeping track of where my scenes are in the show. So I'll have a script backstage so I can reference it. But I know my lines, so it's been fun. He's a very fun character. I will say, and if anybody has seen my my Plankton Plays Minecraft videos, my Plankton voice is not like the one in the cartoon. It's much more akin to a lot of the people you'll see in musicals playing Plankton. That's more what I'm going for. Because trying to emulate, first off, I don't think I can emulate Plankton's voice from the cartoon because I have high-pitched twink voice. Like, I don't think I can do that. And also, that would suck to like try to sing in as well. Are you kidding me? I have a new scheme, Karen. So it's much more like da 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 da. Not like that. That sounds like Dracula. But like, I don't know. It's hard to do the voice. I would have to. Well, I'm trying to think of my lines. Of course, mass evacuation is no simple feat. We'll need to leave together in a that can trap us all. I mean, fit us all. A giant escape pod. He's kind of British. I've made Plankton kind of British, but he's very fun to play. So, you know, it all works out. I am almost to my destination. Thank God. Because I've been driving for a while. I don't love driving. I'm also not a very good driver, which doesn't help. I'm not the best driver, but I'm passable. I'm very bad at parking. Parking is a real problem. I should not be allowed to park a car ever. It's so bad. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's so bad whenever I park. My friend Scarlett, whenever I'm hanging out with Scarlett and I have to drive anywhere, we'll take photos of my parking jobs to like friendly make fun of me. And it's fair. It's absolutely fair because it's so bad. It's so bad. I'm a terrible parker, but it's okay. Laugh while you can, until the day you laugh no more forever. Singing in the character voice is a little bit harder, so I don't really. I try to add a touch of the character voice, but also I don't want to sound like shit because I'm trying so hard. Do you like classic Doom? I do like classic Doom. I played Doom 1 in full on my computer. I played some of Doom 2 and then forgot to finish it. I've done a few videos looking at some of the other ports they made of Doom, because Doom is the game that's been ported to fucking everything. Last I heard, somebody ported it to a PDF file. But, yes, I do like classic Doom. Thank you for asking. It's a fun game. I actually haven't played any of the newer Doom games. I have Doom 3 and Doom 64, I think, like, on my Steam library, but I haven't played them yet. But I have played the original Doom in full. I did use cheats a little bit. Anybody who if you watch my things, you know that I'm real bad at games, so I did use the in-game cheats to get through levels I was struggling with, but I did play it in full, and I did think it was a very good game. And I think it runs, like, at least the port that's on Steam runs very smoothly, and yeah, I thought that was good. I am almost at my destination, so I will be ending this off soon, but I will read your comment once I'm at a good stopping point to do so. It has been ported to a pregnancy test. They've also taught rats how to play Doom 2. A pregnancy test is really impressive. That's way more impressive than a PDF file. It's honestly not even surprising to me that they have done that. That's crazy. I would love to see a rat play Doom 2. That would bring me joy. Great. But I'm at my destination. Sorry if I'm interrupting. You're not interrupting the driving. We're good. I'm like in a neighborhood I know anyways. I'm going to sign off because I am at my destination. But, you know, thank you to the couple people who stopped by on the stream and anybody who's watching this back later. I just needed something to fill my little time, I guess. Yeah. Bye-bye.